thunderstorm warning, but in Smith, they do have a flash flood warning, and we have some activity that's starting to pop up close to Garland. We'll have live coverage streaming and online CBS Texas.
Thanks, Nellie. Please join us for CBS News Texas at 4. We'll see you then.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Lauren Boswick with a look at your first alert weather update. I want to show you what's happening here on the radar, starting to pop up some showers and thunderstorms. This is all due to what we like to call a backdoor front. Why it's called that is because it's moving from the northeast. So a lot of these thunderstorms are actually moving to the southwest as we speak, but they're moving very slowly, and so is this frontal system. That's why we're popping up some showers and storms here across the area. I want to get you into the details as of this current moment. Starting to see some rumbles of thunder popping up, especially for our eastern counties. I want to get you into where some of the strongest activity is, and right now I'm looking at Van Zant County, sub-severe thunderstorm. It is not a severe warned thunderstorm, but we will be likely to see some gusty winds associated with the cell that has popped up and the potential for some smaller hailstones. It could grow in intensity. We've seen these storms really pop up and flourish in the past couple of hours, and well, there is that potential for more activity as we move into the next couple of hours. Now, as we head into the evening hours tonight, that's when everything will likely fizzle. Again, we're starting to pop up some strong grumbles of thunder to the south of Camden and over towards Colfax into Van and Ben Wheeler. That's also including Jackson and Tundra. Does look like a very small hail core associated with this in the darker purple shades here where I'm circling. But is it severe criteria? No, not as of right now. I'll turn on our vertical integrated liquid. What this will show us is the updraft of this storm and what's embedded in the updraft, which is hail, and the potential of the size of the hail in the updraft. Right now, we can sample over towards the Oakland area and I-20. Quarter-sized hail associated with it and BB-sized hail. Now again, remember, this is what's in the updraft. So as it makes its way to the surface, it's likely smaller than quarter-sized or BB-sized hail. So smaller hailstones is what we're currently monitoring. The only bad news is it is along the I-20 corridor, moving from Canton to the Van area. If you live in those spots, just be aware that some impacts are likely due to travel, especially along the I-20 corridor. And it's a good idea to just stay indoors. Lots of lightning associated with these storms. I'm going to zoom out real quick and show you some other areas that we're starting to pick up on some smaller hailstones and take you over into places like Kaufman County. Down to the south of Kaufman County, we're talking about Kemp into Lively. Also showing our vertical integrated liquid here. We're picking up on some hailstones around quarter size as well. Into these spots, as I turn on the reflectivity map, we can definitely see where that hail core is. It's right to the north of Lively in this brighter shade of pink and purple. And those spots, that's where we're likely to see some of those stones falling, and maybe to the south a little bit further. Now we're talking about, I believe this is Henderson County, northern tier of Henderson County to the very west of the Alley area. Into these spots, again, you might be seeing some hailstones associated with them. This is moving to the south and to the west. I'll go ahead and track that here real quick for you. Moving to the southwest, I would say about 10 miles per hour. So it's a very slow moving storm system as it does continue to sag down to the south and to the west. It doesn't look like really any big name cities are in the track of this storm, but we'll continue to monitor it as it moves to the south and to the east. Again, I'm going to take you southward as well. We're now over towards Italy as well as Frost. Into those spots, rogue thunderstorms are starting to spark up. Nothing concerning at the current moment. And then taking you over, we're talking south of Glen Rose and Somervell County. We're talking Brazos Point. A strong thunderstorm moving through Eulogy as well as Brazos Point at the current moment. But again, this is not taking on severe criteria. Maybe seeing some outflow boundary with some gustier winds associated with it and some pretty hefty downpours. Also seeing some frequent lightning, around 18 lightning strikes. So some loud rumbles of thunder is what I'm also monitoring associated with that cell. Then over into central Texas, of course, we have more activity taking place. I'll take you over into Rockwall County and into Collin County. Another thunderstorm starting to develop here. Looks like we only have a couple lightning strikes associated with it into Millwood in Nevada, excuse me. Into those spots, some light rainfall happening over towards Rockwall and Glen Hill. This will continue to move to the south and to the west. It might impact some travel along the I-30 corridor, and we are getting into the after commute time. So just a heads up, any rainfall, of course, we all know it here across the Metroplex can be kind of rough, especially when you're headed home after work at that 3 to 4 p.m. hour. So some spotty showers definitely possible along the I-30 corridor into Rockwall County. Taking you up to the north a little bit further. Now we're talking over into the Wolf City area and Landonia. In those spots, another rogue cell popping up, and we're also looking at some pretty hefty rainfall associated with that and potential for some smaller hail associated in that, embedded in that storm, I'm trying to say here. But it looks like the activity that is the strongest is over towards Van Zant County, moving along the I-20 corridor from Canton to Van, as well as near Emory and into, I believe that's Delta County, into, excuse me, that's not Delta County, that is Rains County, into those spots. We're also seeing another rogue thunderstorm pop up, and that's near the Kemp area. It looks like this one's an aggressive cell in Lively at the current moment. Again, everything is moving to the southwest, and it's moving very slowly. And because these storms are moving very slowly, it could lead to some isolated instances of flooding. Just remember, turn around, don't drown. And of course, I know the kiddos want to get out and about. When thunder roars, head indoors. It's not worth it. Lightning is still very, very dangerous. I wanted to get you into your forecast details. Let's go ahead and switch things over to max 3. You can see 92 degrees is where we're currently sitting. It feels like 98 degrees. Why is this happening? Because the moisture content in the atmosphere is high. We have a dew point temperature of 70 degrees, which just tells us how much moisture is available. And that's going to help fuel some rumbles of thunder as we continue through the rest of the day today here across North Texas. Humidity's at 48% and winds are from the north around 12 miles per hour. But again, it feels like 98. If you are outside and you're not seeing any thunderstorm development, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And of course, you're using that sunscreen because some areas are seeing some sunshine peek through the clouds. Futurecast is showing us a couple more pop-up showers and storms, possibility for some of them to be in the Metroplex. Not out of the question over the next couple of hours, but generally speaking, it's going to be into East Texas and south of the I-20 corridor over the next couple of hours. I'll go back to our forecast model and show you here as we make our way into that 5 p.m. hour today. It's showing a good chunk of the activity to the south of I-20, and then everything likely to dissipate after 6 p.m., showing clear conditions by 7 p.m. But again, this is just one of our forecast models. All the other ones still have activity lingering into the evening hours and clearing up by 10 p.m. tonight. So just know possibility for more strong thunderstorm development, maybe even some more severe weather will be possible anywhere shaded in green. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. It's a level 1 out of 5 threat. In these spots in particular, isolated potential for strong to severe weather is going to be likely, and we could see some gustier winds upwards of 60 miles per hour or stronger, but it is looking like hail is starting to be one of the main concerns. I don't think hail is going to get very large with our activity that's flaring up today. However, we could see quarter size, maybe ping pong ball sized hail as we move throughout the rest of this afternoon. 94 degrees is the forecast high today. We should be topping out in the next hour or so here across the Metroplex. Of course, the heat index value or the feels like temperature will be in the upper 90s and even close to the triple digits through the rest of the day today. So really toasty forecast for the rest of this afternoon. Rain chances are going to stay around 30% until about 6 p.m., then start to dwindle into the evening hours tonight. Looks like after 9 p.m. tonight, we really start to clear things up here across North Texas, and rain chances are going to be minimal at best. Level 1 out of 4 threat for the Weather Prediction Center's outlook for flooding. This is an excessive rainfall outlook. Level 1 out of 4 threat basically means isolated instances of flooding is going to be a possibility. Notice it's to the south of the I-20 corridor and to the east of the I-35 corridor. Into those spots are southeastern counties is where the bulk of the activity will take place through the rest of the afternoon, and the storms are very slow moving. That could lead to, again, heavy accumulation at the surface and all of that rainfall going into the lower lying areas. It only takes about 6 inches of fast flowing water to take a vehicle away. So if you do come across any of those lower lying areas and maybe some flooded road conditions with fast flowing water, just don't drive through it. Today, we're going to continue to see hot temperatures and some pop-up showers and storms likely to dissipate into the evening hours. This high is keeping us nice and toasty. Now, I am tracking our next big weather maker. A big low pressure system in the upper levels of the atmosphere will swing through in the end of the week and moving into this weekend. That is going to keep the forecast active. Now, it's going to bring a more active weather pattern, and you can notice because the low pressure system is going to pump in a lot of that Pacific moisture, especially in our higher elevations. Now, we also have that high pressure system over the southeastern half of the United States, and that's going to also funnel in a decent amount of moisture from the Gulf. So we got 2 areas of moisture that we will be working with at the end of this week. That's going to allow for some more pop-up showers and thunderstorms, especially when we see a disturbance passing through. Wet into the work week and weekend is going to be in the forecast. Low chances for rain and storm activity into the day tomorrow and Thursday. However, we still have a 20 to 30% chance, so keep that umbrella handy. Moving into the weekend, we still have that potential for more storms, so heads up, more rain on the way. Will it completely ruin any outdoor festivities? No, but just keep in mind, storms are going to be possible, so maybe have a plan B if you're headed out and about into the afternoon and into the evening hours moving into this weekend. Some pop-up showers and storms will be possible. Looking at the temperatures, 88 degrees is the typical high for this time of the year. And we're getting there for tomorrow. Give it a degree or two and we're near normal through the rest of this weekend to the weekend. It's not until the next week when we start to see temperatures climb back into the 90s. But look at this, daily opportunities for rain showers and storms are going to stay in the forecast. A southeasterly flow with winds 5 to 15 miles per hour will stay pretty consistent as well. Welcome to June. Yesterday was the start of meteorological summer, and what that basically means is the 3 warmest months of the year. That's our meteorological summer season. In June, it's our 3rd wettest month of the year. If you didn't know that, we typically get around 3.7 inches of accumulation here at DFW Airport. It's also the 3rd hottest month of the year. Average temperature, which is you take all the low temperatures and all the high temperatures, add them together and divide it by the days of the month, it's 81.9 degrees. 3rd hottest month of the year. Whew, toasty. Summer solstice actually starts on June 21st. And what summer solstice is it's basically based on the tilt of the Earth and its rotation around the sun. That's what gets us the summer solstice season. It's different from meteorological summer because meteorological summer is based off of the temperature of the warmest months of the year. I want to take you back to what's happening on our radar data. What we're continuing to see is some strong thunderstorms. It looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning over towards Wood County, moving down to the south towards Smith. It's also in Upshur County, moving down to the south towards Gregg. If you have any friends or family in those areas, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4 p.m. Looks like hail and gusty winds are the main concern associated with that severe warned thunderstorm. So just a heads up, it's headed to the south towards the I-20 corridor. We'll go ahead and time this out for you for any of those folks who have friends or family in that area. Down to the south, around 10 miles per hour. New Hope, 342. Over into Ben, 342. For you folks there, Golden, 327. Heads up if you have any friends or family over into places like Wood, Upshur, as well as into Smith County. Now, over here across the Metroplex, not seeing too much activity, but a few more pop-up showers and storms will be likely through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. We'll have another streaming update a little bit later on tonight, and of course, tune in to our 4 p.m. show. We will be keeping you up to date with all the latest news and weather as we see more of these storms pop up through the rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining us here on CBS News Texas. We'll have more coming up at 4.
Our commitment is to do everything in our power to build this in Dallas.
Right now at 11, moving out of downtown, the Mavericks announced plans for a new home in North Dallas. Plus, new legal action after the Dallas apartment explosion. The family of a victim who died in the blast is targeting Atmos and others in a wrongful death lawsuit.
This is CBS News, Texas.
We begin with that big news for the Dallas Mavericks. They are planning to leave downtown and move to the former site of the Valley View Mall in North Dallas. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for CBS News Texas at 11. I'm Karen Borda. If you've lived in Dallas for a while, you know where this is all happening. It's a busy area along 635 LBJ and Preston Road. Our Trevor Sahaki's in downtown Dallas with what this means for the team and its fans.
The Mavs are looking at building restaurant, retail, and residential space beyond just a new arena. The team is looking at developing more than 100 acres of land on the former Valley View Mall site, a massive project. Valley View has long been seen as one of Dallas's biggest redevelopment opportunities. Team leadership has estimated construction will take around 2.5 years. The Mavs are set to play at the American Airlines Center through 2031, then move into their new home by the end of the year. The team said it wanted to stay in Dallas. While it considered City Hall, it said Valley View meets most of its criteria. City Councilwoman Cara Mendelson says the Valley View site was designed to accommodate a major development like this.
And when people say, oh, there might be more traffic, well, what do you think's going on? 110 acres isn't going to bring traffic, right? Whether it's residential, whether it's mixed use, whatever is going there will bring traffic, just like Valley View used to bring traffic.
City leadership praised the organization for committing to Dallas. The mayor and city manager saying in part, quote, "We applaud the Dallas Mavericks organization for its continued commitment to our city." Mavs minority owner Mark Cuban telling CBS News Texas, quote, "I like it. In the city. Easy access from the tollway and 635. I think it'll work out well." Meanwhile, Dallasites are offering mixed reactions.
I'm a little bit optimistic, but at the same time, I'm upset that, there's a lot of people that live around here, work around here.
I think overall, it'll be really good for the city. Just staying here in Dallas is, I think, most important to a lot of our fans.
So what does this mean for the AAC? Well, that's still up in the air. The Stars are also committed to playing here through 2031, but the hockey team has said it wants its own arena as well. It's exploring options in Plano, also outside of Dallas. That could mean the AAC is left without a professional sports team in just a few years. In Dallas, Trevor Sahaki, CBS News, Texas.
With this announcement, it appears the Mavs, as Trevor mentioned, are no longer an option to move into the current site of City Hall. Tomorrow, city leaders will get an update on the cost to repair the building instead of moving City Hall to a new location. New estimates that will be shared with City Council Wednesday show it will cost between $500 and $600 million to make those repairs. Earlier estimates suggested repairs and modernization would cost more than $1 billion. New developments now in the deadly apartment explosion that devastated Dallas's Oak Cliff neighborhood last week. A new wrongful death lawsuit's been filed by the family of one of the people who died in the blast. And we're learning more about what happened in the week leading up to the explosion. Lauren Crawford's at the site of the Clyde Apartments with the latest.
Hi, well, we are expecting two major developments in this case today. The first being a wrongful death lawsuit is expected to be announced later on this afternoon. And secondly, we are expecting to hear from one of the survivors of the explosion who is injured. They are set to speak publicly for the first time today. Now, this all comes as we are learning new details about the work that was being done out here just days leading up to the explosion. The CBS News Texas I-Team has confirmed an engineering firm called 811 1 week before the explosion to have gas lines marked at the property. Records show the firm had hired a drilling company to collect soil samples. On the day of the explosion, a report indicated the drilling company had, quote, nicked a gas line, and that gas was leaking. Today, attorneys are expected to announce a wrongful death lawsuit on behalf of Sylvia Collins, a community activist and Democrat precinct chair in Dallas. The law firm representing her claims residents reportedly detected the smell of gas in the days leading up to the explosion. The lawsuit targets at-miss property owners and the engineering firms doing work before the explosion. In a statement, the law firm says, quote, we are grateful for the outpouring of support from the community and the efforts undertaken to ensure that Sylvia's tremendous work, accomplishments, and the sacrifice of her exemplary life will not be silenced by the horror of her death. While investigators search for answers and families prepare for legal action, loved ones say that they are also focused on helping 10-year-old Vanessa Perez heal after losing her mother and little brother in the explosion. In footage you'll see only right here on CBS News Texas, you can see firefighters from Dallas Fire Rescue visiting her at home. Her aunt says she wanted to see a fire truck and meet firefighters, the men and women who tried to save her mom and brother.
She misses her mom and her brother, she did say when she woke up, but we're here to support her. She's very happy that she has, and you know, the fire, like I said, that was the biggest gift that the fire department can do for her.
To come out here and share a very happy and joyful moment with her is a nice, relaxing break for us on our end.
3 people were killed in that explosion and others experienced burns and other injuries. We will be at those news conferences and bring you the developments in the coming hours. In Dallas, Lauren Crawford, CBS News Texas.
Thank you, Lauren. And we do invite you to stay with CBS News Texas as we learn more about the deadly explosion. We'll bring you new information on air and online at cbsnewstexas.com. Well, the summer heat is here, but so are some rain chances. First Alert meteorologist Nelly Carreño is here now with a first look at your forecast.
Well, good morning to everybody. So one of the things that we look at, obviously, is the intensity, the coverage, and the timing. The problem will not be the intensity. We don't expect severe weather today. The coverage also, not everybody will see it, but the timing is not good. So let me explain what I'm talking about. The timing is during the afternoon and evening commute, so that will be the problem. But as Karen mentioned, the heat is here. You can see temperatures are already near 90 in the Metroplex, and it's humid, so it feels like the low 90s. But here is the front that will trigger a few showers and thunderstorms. We're already seeing, you notice the clouds here? They're starting to bubble up already. The radar is clean right now at 11 a.m., but in the next few hours, we'll start to see development. So when is the peak time? Well, it will be between 2, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we're only going to see about 30%. So that's the peak of it, between 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Some of them can have, obviously, lightning, some gusty winds, and some small hail. But I'll have more information coming out.
All right, Nellie, thank you so much. Jury selection is underway in the Frisco track meet stabbing trial. Nearly 600 prospective jurors have been asked to fill out a 3-page questionnaire. After they are reviewed, as many as 250 prospective jurors will return on Wednesday, tomorrow. Now, outside the Collin County Courthouse Monday, our crews found barriers and armed sheriff's deputies stationed at every corner. A small group of demonstrators gathered nearby for the murder trial that is getting national attention. Carmelo Anthony's on trial for stabbing and killing Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet last year in Frisco. Anthony's attorneys say it was an act of self-defense. Opening statements are scheduled for Thursday. And again, we invite you to stay with CBS Texas throughout the trial. We will bring you the latest from the courtroom on air and online at cbstexas.com. The artist behind a popular downtown Dallas mural known as the Whale Mural that was seen for nearly 3 decades is now suing FIFA and the owner of the building. The artist, known as Wyland, is seeking $25 million in damages after his 8-story mural called Ocean Life was painted over ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Wyland claims FIFA and the property owner did not ask for his consent, which the lawsuit claims is required by federal law. The lawsuit claims the intentional destruction of Wyland's work violates the Visual Rights Act of 1990. Still ahead, an update on the war with Iran, how the hostilities between the U.S. and Iran is trying to be tied to other fighting in the Middle East.
Your CBS Texas Primetime lineup is sponsored by Health Spring Medicare Plans. Put a spring in your step.
In the war with Iran, a senior Iranian military officer says a return to hostilities with the U.S. seems, quote, inevitable. But a source close to the negotiating team says Iran is still considering the latest draft of a potential agreement with the U.S. However, another source told an Iranian news agency that Iran suspended indirect negotiations with the U.S., and it's all tied to fighting in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah. The U.S. and Israel maintain the fighting there is separate from the Iran war talks. All across the country, another set of primary elections are happening today. The voting is happening in 6 states: California, New Mexico, Montana, South Dakota, Iowa, and New Jersey. In California, all eyes are on the governor's race. The top 2 finishers will advance to the general election in November. The latest polls show 3 candidates at the top of the field: Democrats Xavier Becerra and businessman Tom Steyer, along with Republican Steve Hilton. A Lone Star softball showdown on the biggest stage. Coming up, the rematch between Texas and Texas Tech, shaping up for the Women's College World Series Finals, and a look at both teams' key wins to land them in the championship series. You're watching CBS News Texas, and we'll be right back.